You know the only difference in steam and ice is the state of vibration of the water or the H2O. Do you know the only difference in where you are versus where you want to go is your state of vibration? Do you know that everything to get you there is already here? And it always has been. Do you know when you take an idea and you impregnate it over and over again, you impregnate that idea into one cell. When you impregnate that idea into the cell, that cell is dividing 1 into 2, 2 into 4, 4 into 8, 8 into 16 to 32, 64. And the process goes on at the rate of 50,000 cells per second. And the more and more you act on it, even though you don't feel good about it, but you work with the idea, you start to develop this change in vibration. But what is really happening is you're impregnating the cells with the characteristic or the idea. What we need to do is we need to constantly think about where we're going, what we want to do, and we start to increase our level of thinking by vibration, and we begin to attract thoughts of a like nature that'll move us in that direction.
Beautiful video, a lot of great wisdom in there and truth in there. In my teachings through the Chek Institute, I often quote psychologist Jerry Wesh, who says if you have a big enough dream, you don't need a crisis. In my system, we have a 1, 2, 3, 4 model: 1 love, 2 forces, 3 choices, 4 doctors. 1 love means what is the one thing you love enough to change for, to grow for, to step into, to become. If we don't have something as a North Star that gives us enough levity to overcome the inertia of change, the inertia of society, and the center of gravity in society, as most of you are aware, is quite low. And the problem is misery loves company. So there is going to always be people that try to pull you back whenever you're succeeding in a way that causes them to feel like they're less because they're judging and having negative self-reflection. When we have a dream that's bigger than our crisis and a dream that our heart buys into, and we can use that dream as a North Star on our compass, then we can ask ourselves, is the thought that I'm having right now about, oh, this will take too long, or I'll never get this done, or who's going to help me, is that dream big enough and strong enough for us to say, this is a labor of love, and therefore I am willing to do the work to identify who it is that I need help from, how I'm going to get the money, what education I need to fulfill this obligation or mission or healing process. And then we go about doing it. And then if we have anything that gets in our way, we really just rely on our intention. And instead of making the mistake so many do of having a dream or a goal and thinking, I'll be happy when I have this much money, or when I lose this much weight, or I finish this project, we want to carry that vibration of dreaming into the present moment. Something that someone like Tony Robbins would tell you is to step into the shoes of that aspect of yourself, that version of yourself. Don't wait to finish your first marathon to consider yourself a marathoner. Consider yourself a marathoner and have the discipline to train, eat, and live like a marathoner that can run as fast as you want to run, or faster. And then you will have the esprit de corps and the sense of self necessary to embody the dream. So when we're dreaming, we're actually creating a thought form, a living embodiment of ourselves that is the dream person, and it becomes a magnetic attractor, like a strange attractor that pulls us forward. And then if we eat, sleep, breathe, and act in accordance with that dream image of ourselves, then we stay in resonance with the dream, and things that you might have thought were hard before, like taking care of yourself, eating well, managing yourself well, don't become near as hard, because now they're linked clearly to the dream. So you're inspired, you're motivated, you're heart-centered, and you see yourself as a work of art, or your project as a work of art. And just like an artist paints as much as they can each day, shapes the clay, carves the stone, crafts the artistic piece, we can see ourselves as the clay or the art piece or the process, and pour our love and our intention into that. And instead of waiting for the magic day that we achieve it to say all of a sudden now my vibration's high and I'm happy. We can embody that every step of the way, and that makes us a lot more fun to be around. It makes us more willing to do the necessary work of learning and growing and becoming. It gives us more inspiration, our heart's into it. One thing I know for sure after a lifetime of guiding people and supporting people in the healing process is that a labor of love is sustainable. Anything else is just labor. That's why it's very important to qualify your dream so that you know your heart is in it. In my system, I teach if you're not at least 7 out of 10 committed to a dream, goal, or objective at the heart, then it does not have enough buy-in from the heart to get you through the natural challenges of any creative process, which always starts off as an idea or a thesis. But as soon as you begin developing it, we go to what Hegel would call the antithesis or the challenge stage. And that's where if you're not supported by your heart and by a legitimate dream that you buy into, you're likely to give up on yourself. But once you make it through the antithesis stage, through the work and through the necessary acquiring of help, education, and the things you need to make yourself a wiser, more capable person in the process of creating your dream, we get to synthesis, and that's where the fruit is on the tree, that's where the celebration is, and then we go to the rest phase where we redream, and each time we do it, we become more masterful at it, and the next thing you know, you're living your dream in many areas of your life, if not all of them, and you wake up and realize just how powerful your mind is, how powerful your heart and your love is, how powerful intention is to direct the flow of energy and information. Now you're not only living efficiently, smiling a lot, but you're a great influence on other people, especially younger people, to help them learn to live and love more fully. And that's how we make the world a better place for each other, one person at a time. Aho.